You're in tune with Soarin' in the City on 1017 World FM.
Good morning, everyone, on this beautiful day of May. Welcome to the Soarin' in the City show on World FM, a show aiming to educate you about multiculturalism in our city, present issues and events, as well as what's hot and spicy in the ethnic communities. But first, we have Chelsea Robinson. We all know that a couple of weeks ago, the whole city of Fort McMurray was evacuated, no less than 80,000 people having to leave their houses behind or whatever was left of them. People kept talking about firefighters being heroes, but really the whole province showed just as much effort and determination to help those in need. Chelsea here is a different kind of hero, and you'll see why in a second, because this turns into kind of a crazy little story. Chelsea is very young, turned 24 this week on Wednesday. Happy belated birthday, by the way. Owns her own house in Edmonton, and she decided to take in not one evacuee or two or a family, but no less than 23 people. And wait for her to tell you the whole story, because not everything was sweet and with a happy ending. Chelsea, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Let's start with the beginning and the good parts. How did you decide to take in all these people? Where did it start, basically?
So basically, I went on to Kijiji and on Facebook and all the different evacuee sites, and I basically asked if anyone was needing a home, basically to get in contact with me and let me know so that I could help them out. And the plan was originally to have about 3 people, maybe 4 people, a small family come in, and then it just kind of escalated from there.
So tell me about the group. What kind? Now we don't have 23 anymore, but you had 16?
Right now I have 16 plus myself, so 17 total in my house.
Tell me about the group. What kind of, are they from a specific ethnic community? Are they, what kind of?
Yeah, so they kind of vary. Some are from downtown, some are from Abisan, some from Beacon Hill. They kind of vary. I have 10 people in my basement, so basically they're all sharing, I basically put down 5 air mattresses, so they're all sharing that down there. And then I have another family upstairs of 5, and then I also have another 2 in a separate room upstairs as well.
So all these people found that ad and they just connected with you?
Yeah, I actually found more than them. I actually, after I found enough people to fill my house, I kept the ad up, and I had a lot of people email me and call me and say that they were interested. So I actually got in contact with other people and asked if anyone else had room in their houses, because some people didn't put up posts or they didn't feel comfortable with putting out their information. So they would message me, and then I would then send out their information to someone else so that they would also be able to find houses for these people.
So how does a regular day look like in your house?
It varies.
When everybody wakes up, what's happening?
Well, it's very random. Sometimes I'll have 2 people at the house, because sometimes over the weekend someone will go to Calgary, and then another family will go to Red Deer, and then the next day I'll come home, and then there'll be 18 people in my house. Then they'll have their friends come over. But basically I wake up and there's always rice. And I don't mean to be rude or anything, but there's a lot of rice in my house all the time, and they will laugh when I say that. And then there's lots of Spam as well. And then after breakfast, basically I go to work, so I'm gone all day. And then when I come home, I'll have either 2 or 10 or 16, 17 people at the house as well. So it really varies.
Now, I know that something terrible happened. Somebody moved into your house. Pretending to be from Fort McMurray, and she was actually not, and she just took advantage of the situation. I want you to be as specific as you can. How did that start and what happened?
So basically I got a message on Facebook from someone. It was... She saw that my post was up, so she messaged me on Facebook, and she told me that she was interested in finding a place to stay. She told me that she was living out of her car for 4 days in the West End parking lot before she could find my ad. So basically I said, well, obviously come on over, like, this is my address. Within about half an hour she was at my house. I didn't question it. I didn't ask for her ID. I didn't ask for anyone's ID. I just kind of said, if you need a place to stay, come stay. I found out later that she told me that her ID wasn't going to say Edmonton on it, or Fort McMurray on it, sorry, just because she lived in BC before that, and she's only in Fort McMurray for about 6 weeks in advance. So
you told me that she was asking you for money too, right?
Yeah. So basically right after she moved in, she told me that she needed money for prescriptions. So I told her the next day that if she needed it, then I'd be able to help her out. This is before I knew everything that I found out later. But I basically offered her $200 to help with her prescriptions. And then
Prescriptions for what kind of illness?
I don't know the actual name of it, but basically it has to do with her not being able to find her veins and stuff like that. So she has to have all the, like, she had to have chemo and all different kinds of things. I don't know.
So
exactly.
you believed her and you gave her money initially?
I sent her $200 and then she guilt tripped me into feeling bad because I didn't send it in time. So then I canceled the transfer right before
she was living in your own house, right?
But she was living in my house.
And you said that a bunch of your friends told you that she's not from memory because they've seen posts and like tagging the Edmonton and everything. But what happened? You said you kicked her out at some point. So
Yeah.
What did she do?
So basically, I told her I'm really sorry, but I need to make room for a larger family. Just because she was sharing one room on her own.
Because you felt she's fake and
right. And I mean, I was sleeping on the couch at the time because I gave her my room and I was trying to help her out. And then basically, after I found out that she wasn't from Fort McMurray, when I kicked her out, I explained that situation, and then she told me that she got really upset about it, of course. The next morning, I told her that I needed her to leave. Once she left, she texted me a couple days later, and she...
This is the craziest thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, explain that.
So, craziest situation of my life. Like 3 days after I sent that text, I kicked her out of my house. She sent me a text from someone, she didn't say who.
But from her own number, though.
From her own
So you got
number.
a text from her own number, written by somebody who claimed to be a family
member or a friend.
But no name, no nothing.
No, nothing. No.
What did the text say?
Do you want me to read it?
No, it's okay. just tell me.
Basically, it just said, I'm just texting to inform everyone on this person's phone number, contact list that Chrissy is no longer with us anymore. I apologize for sending this because she has these conditions and she didn't get these prescriptions. Therefore, she passed away, and we're looking into it further. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Cool. So basically, she or somebody else told you that she died because she didn't get the prescriptions that she accused you of not giving her money for.
Yeah, and she would guilt me in saying things like, I'm going to have to go sell my quilts, or I'm going to have to go sell my grandma's wedding ring.
But then, okay, so I asked you this before. How do you know she's not dead?
Yeah, so I mean, so I found out that she wasn't actually dead because about a couple hours after I got that text, I sent it to one of my friends, and he called that number, and she picked up, and then she picked up the phone.
Craziest hero story ever. Chelsea, now, one last question. From good and bads, what did you learn from all this experience? Positive and negatives.
Well, the negatives, obviously, I would like to think that I can trust people, but sometimes you can't trust people. That's the biggest thing I learned. And to not let it get to you, because even though one person might have been like a bad egg, so to speak, I still had, 20, 23 people that were really good ones. The most positive experience out of it is just how amazing the families are. I was so happy when they came over because it wasn't even that I felt like I was doing good. It was just because I was really happy that someone else needed something. And I felt like if I were in their position and I needed somewhere to go, I would hope that someone would be able to help me out in the same way. I had room in my house, so I opened up my house. So.
Okay, one last question. These 16 people that you still have there, for how long they will be living?
We don't know. No one knows.
All right. Thank you so much, Chelsea. Chelsea Robinson, thanks so much for being here. If you have a message for Chelsea, feel free to drop us a note at soren@travelbydart.com. That's Soren, S-O-R-I-N, at travelbydart, D-A-R-T. That's my TV show. So I'll make sure I'll forward your message to her. We'll take a little break here. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
You're in tune with Soren in the City on 1017 World FM.